We are back on MorningLine. Thanks for joining us. Our guest this morning is Allison Fields, veterinarian. The number on this Monday, and it may be slow getting started, but come on, you got to have some questions or comments about your pets if you want to call in as we get into this warm weather now. 737-7587, and we'll go back to the lines and take Tammy. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Nick.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
My question is, I've been working in a feral cat program with the Pet Community Center, and I have two of the kittens were tame, Miss Fields, and I could adopt them out. But one of the couples that took one of the kittens called me back and said she has a cough, and he was concerned that it could be a symptom of heartworms in cats. And I wanted to know if you could give me any thoughts of what is the cough in fact a symptom of heartworms? And he also mentioned asthma. Because if they bring her back, I'll have to take her in. So I just wanted to get a little education on that.
How old is the kitten?
I would predict probably 4 months.
Okay. Well, at 4 months, there's lots of things that can cause coughing, from parasites. The kitten's not old enough to have heartworms. In order for a heartworm to be an adult and mature, it would need to be, the kitten would probably need to be at least 6 months old. So I think you can scratch that off your list. You know, it's always best to just take the cat to the vet and let the vet do some diagnostics and see. You guys can get yourself all worked up about Googling and seeing what's wrong with a coughing cat and scare yourself to death. So I think you probably just need to take her in and have her seen. And let the vet listen to her. It's kind of young for asthma as well. So probably some other things going on that they may very well be able to take care of.
Oh, that's awesome. Does that help?
The mother cat is very small, so it's possible she's 6 months. So she just needs to go in and be tested for heartworms and anything else as well, then, is what you're saying.
I don't know that she needs to be tested for heartworms. I think you should take her in and let the vet take a look at her and see what's going on before
Okay,
you.
thank you so much,
Yeah.
and thanks for all you do. And Nick, I enjoy your show.
Hey, thank you for calling in. And that's great. She's helping. I'm wondering, I was going to ask you, with feral cats, I understand she was dealing with kittens there. How often have you seen, can feral cats ever make a transition? Obviously the kittens can, but if you find a feral cat and then you start feeding the cat and it comes, and then finally some of them are wild and it's just not going to change, right?
But some of them, a year later, you may be able to pick it up. I mean, I see cats, you know, probably once a year I see a cat that, you know, people tell me she wandered up to my house, she was feral, we couldn't touch her, but, you know, it's been 3 years now and I can finally pick her up, and I got her in a carrier today. Now, she's not real happy to be there, but, you know, feral cats can change. They grew up wild, they grew up away from people. Feral doesn't mean mean or anything like that. It just means I'm wild.
Right.
I've never been around people. I've never, you know, had the luxury of living in a house or living where somebody fed me, and I've had to be finding my own food for however many years I'm out there.
Right, so they do that, because I'll say this, that sometimes you have cats that wander around where we live in Mount Juliet. A lot of times they're cats that someone didn't want, that they dumped off.
Right.
So they're already kind of domesticated, and they're cautious, but they come up. That's not a feral cat. No. Feral cat's the one that's been, like, a lot of times you'll find feral cats around dumps. Yeah. They live in that area because there's a ready supply of scraps and stuff like that for them to eat, right? Yeah, well, I think it's cool. So you get feral cats come in every once in a while that someone has adopted, maybe that is doing better now.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. That's awesome. Are there feral dogs? Yes.
Yes.
Same way, just as difficult as cats, you think, or easier to transition? Hard to say. Just comes down to the animal.
I've never done it.
Yeah. I think good for her. I'm glad to hear Tammy's doing this. Listen, the number is 737-7587 if you want to join in the conversation. We got some lines open. Now, I was talking about the animal rescue out of Manchester, and my wife is with Animal Rescue Corps and was there, and there were some 80 dogs that were taken in, and we decided, you know, we already have, you know, a few dogs, but we decided to take one in, and it's mashed potato. And people people ask me about mashed potato. She says, "Sweetie, we have a picture of mashed potato. We can show you Masher if you'd like." There she is, and that's mashed potato. Now she is I think a Chihuahua, long-haired Chihuahua. Her hair has been cut because she, along with all these other dogs, have you know, found with matted hair, feces. It's a
Right.
real mess. And so all that's trimmed. Now she has, and I was going to ask Allison a bit about this. She's the sweetest dog. She's probably 8 or 9 years old. She was born, it appears, with just 3 legs. You can't tell from the picture. And you see the tongue. That's just not her kind of losing her tongue reflexes and sticking it out. Her tongue is always out like that because she had the decay in her teeth. Her teeth are gone, basically, right? Talk about how that happens. It's just,
Well, just like with us, if we get bad dental disease, our teeth can become infected, the teeth fall out, and then we're left with these empty sockets of where the tooth root used to be. And so once that's gone, your body wants to kind of close that up, and so we typically get some change in the shape of our jaw.
so, and it cannot contain the tongue, which, you know, more or less comes out. And because she has no teeth,
Well, a lot of times their tongue falls out just because their teeth were what was
Right.
holding it in their mouth.
I gotcha.
So even without the change in the jaw, once those teeth are gone, that tongue just falls out.
comes out. And that's what she uses to eat now. You're wondering. And so she just has to eat. We named her mashed potato because she eats foods that are soft like mashed potatoes, which is the pate like dog food.
You'd probably be surprised if you put dry dog food down in front of her.
I haven't done that yet. I'm
Do
sure.
it.
Okay.
See what
But
happens.
She doesn't have teeth.
Watch. See what happens.
Okay. Will she just swallow it whole?
Yeah.
All right.
They'll get it and they'll just chunk it back.
I'm sure you're right. She will. We haven't done that. Because here's the thing. I don't even want to imagine what kind of just crap that dog's put up with
Right.
its life. Small,
no, I'm not saying you
3
need to feed
legs,
her dry
no
food
teeth.
only.
Oh, no. I know what you're
But
saying.
give
I'm
it
gonna
to her
do
and
that. I
see
like
what
to give her
happens.
variety.
Yeah.
But let's just say that for whatever time she has left, she's going to be treated like
Absolutely.
a queen.
And she
like
should.
a queen. And you know what? Like most sheltered or dogs like this from rescues, it's amazing. When we went over there, it's like they know what they've been through to some degree. And all of a sudden, you know, you get them and you're petting them, and they just look at you like, oh.
This is awesome.
That's what petting feels like. And literally, mashed potatoes sit on your lap all day. Dog going after a
She's
bone.
going to be great during football season.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
She'll
You can just sit, dog,
right there.
football.
And that's the thing. We have the 3 other dogs that spend a lot of time outside. She's no trouble at all.
Right.
No trouble at all. Anyway, just a great dog. And I just want to encourage people, if you you know, can look into it when these dogs, and already they're out at the shelters, to go ahead and adopt and you know, take these dogs, and they're great dogs. A lot of them
Think
are
of it
small.
like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to adopt the Charlie Brown Christmas tree because it was ugly and scraggly. You know, in our house, we alternate. Every year we get a pretty Christmas tree. One year we get a pretty one, and the next year we get the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
that.
We go to the lot and we pick out the ugliest Christmas tree that we can find because nobody else is going to
And you
adopt
fixed it up.
And I mean, it was just, it gave its life. Somebody should have it. So same thing with these little dogs. You know, sometimes they are not the cutest. Sometimes they're not in the best health to start with.
Yeah.
But somebody needs to adopt them and give them a great house. So thank you, Nick, for doing that.
Well, listen, don't thank me. She's fun, and it's a neat thing to have. Listen, we need to take a break. When we come back, we'll take more of your phone calls. If you're on hold, stay there. The number 737-7587. Questions or comments for Allison Fields, our veterinarian. More coming your way right after this.